Hello. I'm Bretton, one of our MCAT tutors here at Inspira Advantage, where we help students get accepted into medical school and other professional programs. And welcome back to MCAT Bites. In this video, we will explore the Cannon-Bard theory of emotion, a fundamental concept for the MCAT and one that will be sure to net you points when it comes to the psycho section. It was developed by Walter Cannon on the left here and Philip Bard on the right in the 1920s. This theory is challenging earlier ideas about the origin of emotions, and it gets a little bit closer to the correct answer. Let's delve into the details. The Cannon-Bard theory posits that emotions and physiological reactions occur simultaneously and independently in response to a stimulus. According to this theory, when an event occurs, the thalamus sends signals to both the brain and autonomic nervous systems. This is kind of the crux of the Cannon-Bard theory. They are so into the thalamus, which, as we'll see, is one of the critiques. But for now, the thalamus is the only thing we care about. We see something, it goes into the thalamus, and from the thalamus, autonomic nervous system, and the rest of the brain, or the frontal lobe, limbic system, and what they really care about, the amygdala. Ultimately, the theory is that this results in an emotional experience and physical reactions, like sweating, trembling, at the same time. So you're thinking about the emotion and you're shaking. For example, if you see a snake, you simultaneously feel fear and start to tremble. That's it. So using our snake example, the stimulus you're seeing with your eye is the snake. Then the thalamus will be activated by the snake that you have just seen. The thalamus will then send the simultaneous signals to the autonomic nervous system and the rest of your brain. And then you will have a physiological response and an emotional response where you think about what emotion you're feeling. Now let's move on from the snake and use a different example. Imagine you're walking through a dark parking garage and noticing a shadowy figure following you. According to the Cannon-Bard theory, you will feel fear and experience physical reactions, like an increased heart rate simultaneously, not sequentially, like the James Lange theory we talked about. Now I'm going to use this exact same example for all of the theories you need to know for the MCAT to make it really clear what's going on. So if you haven't walked out our other theories of emotion videos, please go check those out. Some additional examples could be starting a new job. On your first day at a new job, you feel both nervous and experience an upset stomach simultaneously due to the stress. Or if you've ever gone on a date, meeting someone you like, you feel happy and excited, experiencing both emotions and physical responses like sweaty palms and a rapid heartbeat at the same time. And the reason I use these examples is because the MCAT has tested these exact examples in the past. Now, to better understand the Cannon-Bard theory, it's helpful to compare it with other theories of emotion. The James Lange theory up top is very linear. It suggests that the physiological response occurs first, and then you interpret the emotions. For instance, seeing a snake would first make your heart race, and then you would feel fear. Whereas Cannon-Bard, we know that those are both happening at the same time. The Schachter-Singer theory is proposing that physiological arousal occurs first, but it must be cognitively interpreted with the context to result in an emotional experience. The Schachter-Singer is a bit more complicated, and we'll spend some more time on that in the next video. Right now, just focus on Cannon-Bard theory. I want it to be so simple and straightforward to you that you'd never miss a question on it. But what are some criticisms of this theory? While it was very influential for its time, it's faced quite a few criticisms. One of the major critiques is that it places way too much emphasis on the role of the thalamus in emotional processing. It ignores a lot of brain areas involved in emotions. Additionally, studies have shown that physiological reactions can influence emotions, contradicting the theory's claim that physical reactions and emotions are entirely independent. There must be some amount of crosstalk between them. But despite these criticisms, the Cannon-Bard theory remains a crucial concept for understanding emotions and their origins. It highlights the complexity of emotional responses and the interplay between physiological and psychological factors. Let's apply the Cannon-Bard theory to some example problems to solidify our understanding, starting with example problem 1. You're about to give a public speech. As you walk to the podium, your hands start to sweat and you feel nervous. According to the Cannon-Bard theory, what is the relationship between your emotional and physical reaction? Well, according to the theory, you would experience the nervousness and sweaty palms simultaneously and independently. Now for example 2. You are watching a horror movie, and during a jump scare, you notice your heart pounding and your muscles tensing. How would the Cannon-Bard theory explain your emotional response? Well, the theory would suggest that first, you saw the movie, and now you are going to feel fear and experience the physiological reaction of a pounding heart and tensed muscles at the exact same time. The Cannon-Bard theory of emotion provides a unique perspective on how we experience emotions and physiological reactions. By understanding that these responses occur simultaneously and independently, we gain a deeper insight into the complexity of emotional experiences. And most importantly for you, you'll get more points correct on the psychos section of the MCAT. So I want to say thank you so much for watching our video on Cannon-Bard theory of emotions, and I'll see you next time.